Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear second year students, welcome again to English lesson. This is unit 7, fame, present perfect, forces, adverbs, word pairs, short answers. This unit uses the theme of fame to introduce present perfect. The theme naturally lends itself to talking about people's experiences, which is one of the main uses of the present perfect. The new structure is introduced by means of text about two famous writers, and the reading section has an interview with an imaginary famous couple, and the listening and speaking section has an interview with an imaginary rock band. There are opportunities to role-play interviews with celebrities. This unit indeed is first introduced in pre-intermediate level, and the present perfect is dealt with, and then the simple aspect is introduced and practiced in this unit. The simple aspect is revised, and continuous aspects is introduced in unit 13, next units. So the present perfect means completed sometimes before now. It was used to refer to this meaning, completed sometimes before now, but with some present relevance, and so join past and present in a way that many other languages do not. In English, we say I have been the queen at some indefinite time in my life, but not I have seen the queen yesterday. I have seen the queen at some indefinite time in my life, but not I have seen the queen yesterday. Other languages express the same ideas, but by using either a past tense or a present tense. In many languages, such as European language, the same form of have plus past participle can be used to express both indefinite present perfect and definite past simple. And there is common mistakes with respect to using the present perfect. For example, I have watched TV last night. This is a common mistake. When have you been to Russia? This is a common mistake. Did you ever try Chinese food? This is a third mistake. The starter of this unit start with the a simple past and the past participle of these of certain verbs such as write, be, well, sell, sorry, and win, have, and read, do, eat, know, preach. So you have to put these verbs in past simple and then in past participle. For example, read, wrote, written, be, was, were, and been. And we have sell, sold, sold, win, and have, had, read, read, do, did, done, eat, ate, eaten, know, new, noun, break, broken. And here in the present perfect and past simple, we have the famous writer. Look at the photograph of two well-known English writers. How do they think they are related? Here we have Anthony Trollope 1850 and 18 to 82, and Joanna Trollope, the next picture here. Joanna Trollope, they are famous writers of English writers. Come the sentences with he or she. Now, number one, he wrote novels about Victorian life. She writes novels about modern people and their relationships. And number two, he wrote 47 novels, travel books and biographies, and short stories. And she has written over 20 novels, and she started writing in her 30s. Number three, she has lived in the last of England for 40 years, and he lived in Ireland for 18 years. Number four, she has been married twice and has two daughters, and she married for the first he had been married twice, and she has two daughters, and she married for the first time in 1966. He was married, and he had two sons. And listen, if you listen to tape script 7.1, you could check your answers. And grammar spot, find the examples of the past simple sentence from 1 to 4 here, and find the examples of present perfect. Complete the rule. We make the present perfect with the auxiliary verb have plus the past participle. And why are different tenses used in these sentences? And here why are different tenses used in these sentences? Because we are talking about events that has been happened in the past, and events and actions that have a relationship with the present. So we use the past for the past activities, and present perfect to the activities that happen in an indefinite point in time and have its effect on the present. So let's go to the tape script. Why are different tenses used? Anthony Trollope wrote 47 novels, and Joanna Trollope has written 20 novels. Here we use the past simple at specific point in time, and Trollope at an indefinite point in the past. And now we move to the tape script, to the grammar spot at the end of your books. Okay, unit 7, present perfect form, have, has plus verb with past participle ed. The past participle of regular verb ends with ed. There are many common irregular verbs, and page 143. The positive and negative, here we put the ent after the auxiliary verb have or has. I haven't worked in the factory. She hasn't worked in a factory. Question, have and has. Have with I and we, you, they, and has with he, she, it. Been to the United States. With short answers, have you been to Egypt? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Has he ever written poetry? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. We can't say no. We can't say yes, I've by the contracted form of have, so we have to use the complete form of have. Yes, I have. Yes, we have. So the uses of present perfect, we use the present perfect to from looks back from a present into the past and expresses that what has happened before now. The action happened at an indefinite time in the past. وقت غير محدد في الماضي. I have met a lot of famous people before now. She has won awards in her life. She's written 20 books up to now. So here, before now, at specific an indefinite point in time in her life is not indefinite before now, and in not in an indefinite point in time, and she's written 20 books up to now. It's related to now. The action can continue to the present and probably into the future. She's lived here for 20 years. She still lives here. So put in mind, students, that this tense could have its effect on the present or even to the future. The past perfect expresses an experience as part of someone's life, so it is used to express an experience of someone as a part of his life. I've traveled a lot in Africa. They have lived all over the world. They have lived all over the world. Ever and never are common with this use. Have you ever been in a car crash? My mother has never flown in a plane. So this is used here, the present perfect, to express someone's experience at an indefinite point in time. The present perfect expresses an action or a state which began in the past and continues to the present. I've known Alice for 6 years. How long have you worked as a teacher? So the question is about the period of being a teacher up to now, لحد الآن. So من فترة هو عمل كمعلم واستمر عمله كمعلم. Note that the time expression for and since are common with this use. So we use for a period of time and since for with a point in time. We have lived here for 2 years. So this is the period of time measured by 2 years. And I have had a bed since I left the army. So at point in time هو أطلق لحيته منذ أن غادر الجيش، يعني من هذه النقطة في الوقت up to now. So we use since at a point in time, but for a period of time limited. So note that in many languages this use is expressed by a present tense, but in English we say Peter has been a teacher for 10 years, not Peter is a teacher for 10 years, because we use present perfect to talk about things that happen at the past and continues to be to the present, but we use past simple to talk about things that happened and finished at the past, at a specific time in past. The present perfect expresses a past action with a result in the present. It is often a recent past action. I've lost my wallet and I haven't got it now. So the now I have lost my wallet. The taxi's arrived. It is outside the door now. So it is outside the door now. So the present perfect plus past action would result in the present. Has the postman been? Are there any letters for me? So the effect continues to the present. The adverbs just, already, and yet are common with this use. So yet is used with question and negative. She's just had some good news. I've already had a breakfast. Has the postman been yet? It's 11 and she hasn't got up yet. So yet with the question and with negative. The present perfect and past simple. Compare the past simple and present perfect. So past simple. The past simple refers to an action that happened at a definite time in the past. He died in 1882. She got married when she was 22. The action is finished. I lived in Paris for years, but not now. Time expressions plus the past simple. So here are the time expressions. The past simple: in 1999, I did it last week, I did it 2 months ago, I did it on March 22 for 2 years. So in present perfect, the present perfect refers to an action that happens at an indefinite time in the past. So the past simple refers to action happened at definite time in the past, but the present perfect indefinite time in the past. For example, she has won awards. She's written 20 books. The action can continue to the present. For example, she's lived there for 20 years and she still does. So from years she is living there, and now she is still living there. Time expressions plus present perfect. Here we have for, since, and I've worked here for 20 years, since 1995, since I left school, and we have never been to America. So we use for, since, and never. Compare these sentences. So here we have sentences written in past simple and present perfect. So I have broken my leg last year. It's a mistake because I broke my leg last year. So last year here is a definite point in the in time, or definite point in time. So we use past simple, not present perfect. He works as a musician all his life. He has worked as a musician all his life. So here we are talking about his experience and the past experience, so we use the present perfect. When have you been to Greece? So here the question is about the definite time in the past. So when did you go to Greece? So you go to Greece and in the past, but it is finished now, so we use the past, not the present perfect. How long do you have your car? So here we are talking about the period of time, indefinite period of time, and it still has the present effect in the present time, so we have to use the present perfect because it's still having the car. Now back to the exercises. Let's practice the use of present and past with the verb in the present perfect or past simple. Number 1, Anthony Trollope traveled to Africa, Australia, Egypt, and West Indies. Joanna Trollope has traveled to many parts of the world, and she is still uh, uh, traveling. She has won many awards, and several of her stories have appeared on TV. 3. Her first book came out in 1980, so it's specific point in time. Since then, she has sold more than 5 million copies. Number 4, she went to school in the South England, and she studied English at Oxford University, but she has lived in the country for most of her life. Number 5, she writes her book by hand. She has had the same pen since 1995. Listen and check. So if you listen to tape script 7.2, you will check your answers. Number 3, here are the answers for some question about Joanna. What are the questions? So here we have the answers. You have to put them in the question. For 40 years. So here the question is about the time and the period of time. The answer would be, how long has she lived in the west of England? For 40 years. Number 2, English. What did she study at university? Number 3, more than 20. How many novels has she written? Number 4, over 5 million. How many books has she sold? Number 5, in 1980. When did her first novel come out? Number 6, twice. How many times has she been married? Twice. Number 7, yes, 2 daughters, children. Has she got any children? Yes, 2 daughters. Number 8, since 1995. How long has she had her pen? Since 1994. And discussing grammar, choose the correct verb form. Have you ever been? Did you ever go to a pop concert? So here we have the have you ever been. So the first one. Number 2, I saw The Flash last week. Number 3, I love music. I have liked it all my life. I have liked it all of my life. The Flash concert has been satisfying. Was, indeed it was. Number 5, I have bought all their records since then. I have bought. Number 6, the Flash are together for over 15 years. So have been. And these are in classroom activities. Since and for. With since and for, we are talking about these time expression. Complete the time expression with since, for, and since, or since. Number 1, for a year. Number 2, for half an hour. Number 3, since August. Number 4, since 9 o'clock. Number 5, since I was a student. Number 6, for a couple of days. Number 7, for months. And number 8, for since 1999. Match a line in A and B and sentence in C. There is more than one answer. I have known my best friend for years. I have met when we were 10. Number 2, last went to the cinema 2 weeks ago and the film was rubbish. Number 3, I've had this match for 3 years. For 3 years, and my 4 years, and I really need sorry. So I have had this watch for 3 years. My dad gave it to me for my birthday. Number 4, we have used this book since the beginning of term. It's not bad, I quite like it. Number 5, we lived in our old flat from 1988 to 1969 96. We moved because we needed somewhere bigger. And number 6, we haven't had a break for an hour and I really need a cup of coffee. Number 7, I last had a holiday in 1999. I went camping with with some friends. Number 8, this building has been a school since 1985. Before that it was an office. Listen and check. Make similar sentences about you. Asking question. Complete the conversation with tenses are the 3 questions. Where do you live, Ogla? Number how long have you lived there? And why did you move? So these if you check your tape script in 7.5, you could check your answers. Now we move to listening and speaking. This section is about music. Your favorite music bands, and what do you like to say to them if you encounter them or meet them. So what do they do in the band? So listen to the interview with 2 musicians, Susie and Guy, from the band style. Put S or G in column 1 and 2 and put correct and incorrect in column 3. The guitar is G and keyboard Susie, guitar Guy, keyboard Susie, drums Guy, harmonica Guy, vocalist Susie, UP 40 Guy, and Lionel Richie Susie, Phil Collins Susie, Genesis Guy, Happy Mondays Guy, and Bon Jovi Susie, Ace Jovi. Places they have visited: Holland correct, Hungary incorrect, Hungary incorrect, America incorrect, Sweden is correct, Japan correct, Italy correct, and Australia correct. So now we move to the number 3, which question is I answered the question. And number 3, why do Susie and Guy feel tired? Because they have been busy and have traveled a lot this year. Number 2, what have they done this year? They've had a new album out, been on tour, traveled a lot, and been to Holland, Japan, and Australia. Number 3, have they had a good time? Yes, they have made a lot of friends and had some fun. Number 4, what was special about the song Mean Street? It was Guy's first hit record and a hit all over the world in 1995. Number 5, how many years have they been together? Since 1997. Number 6, where do they want to go? America and then Eastern Europe. Number 7, what job has Guy had, and what about Susie? She's worked as a waitress, a shop assistant, and a painter, gardener. Now we move to language. Work. In April in 1995, 2 years ago, when she left college. So make sentence about Susie and Guy with the phrases in boxes. Number A, they went to Japan and Australia in April. Guy and his first hit record in 1995, and they went to Sweden 2 years ago. And then Susie worked as a waitress when she left college. B, they have been together as style since 1997. They have made about 25 records, 15 years. Guy has been in the music business for 15 years, and since he was 7, he has been a musician since he was 7. And now we move to the reading section. In reading section, you have to read this article carefully, and this is your assignment, homework, and you have to answer these 6 important questions. These questions could be part of the final exam, and you have to pay a great attention to answer them. Choose the correct tense. You have to choose the correct tense from these sentences. Number 1, Donna and Tarek have been where. So have been is the correct have been is the correct one. Number 2, they have liked, so they like. Okay. Number 3, they meet, have met, so they met after a football match. Number 4, they have lived, so the correct one is have lived in their own new home since April. Terry has played for England over 30 times, so has been played. Terry has played for England over 30 years, 30 times. So played for England over 30 times. So has played for England over 30 times, because we are talking about past experience. Okay, so you have to read it carefully, and we move to the next section, vocabulary. This section is about the idiomatic expression consisting it's about the adverbs. We have different types of adverbs of manner, adverb of frequency, adverbs of focusing, adverbs of comment, and adverbs of degree. So slowly is adverb of manner, usually is adverb of frequency, and we have adverb of focusing, for example only and to. We have adverbs of comment, for example of course and fortunately, and so on. And we have adverbs of degree, for example nearly. So these adverbs are very important. You have to grasp, and if you come to complete the sentences with one of these adverbs in 3, Bill and I work together, and number 2, but he was still in bed. Number 3, do you like children? Of course I do. Kate is very fussy about food. She only eats pasta and crisps. She was very ill and nearly died, but fortunately is adverb of comment. She got better. And complete the sentence with one of these adverbs. At last, exactly, to, especially, just. I like all Russian novelists, especially Tolstoy. I hate ironing. Me too. It's so boring. Are you telling me that you have no money? Exactly, not a penny. Number 4, I met her in December 30, just before New Year. Number 5, at last I have finished this exercise. Thank goodness. It was so boring. And if we move to the next section, word pair, this section is about the idiomatic expression consisting 2 words joined by and. For example, fish and chips, ladies and gentlemen, now and then, yes and no, does and don'ts, up and down, peace and quiet, safe and sound, salt and pepper. So complete the sentence with one of the expressions. Do you still play tennis? Not regularly, just now and then. And then when I have time. This number 2, this is a pretty relaxed place to work. There aren't many do's and don'ts. Number 3, here you are at last. Have you been so worried? Thank goodness you have arrived safe and sound. Do you like new job? Number 4, yes and no. The money is okay, but I didn't like people sometimes. Number 5, some of there are too many people in the house. I go into the garden for a bit of peace and quiet. Good evening. Number 6, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to talk to you all tonight. Number 7, how you gone up and down. There are good days and then not such a good days. Number 8, here's a supper. Careful, it's hot. Fish and chips, yummy. If you check your if you listen to tape secret 7.7, you'll check your answer. Now we move to everyday English. short answers. So here we are talking about short answers, and we have to add some comments after yes no answer, because saying no and yes only would be or sound like impolite. So complete this short answers. When we answer yes no question, and we often repeat a subject and the auxiliary verb. Yes or no question is on its own sounds impolite. So answering with yes no question sounds impolite. So short answers have been practiced throughout the workbook, and here the aim is to bring them all together and practice them orally. So do you like cooking? Yes, I do. It's raining. No, it's not. Have you been in France? Yes, yes, I have. Are you good at chess? No, I'm not, or I don't. So we have to add some comments in order to make the answers very clear, not only yes or no. So do you speak German? Yes, I can you speak German? Yes, I can. Are you good at chess? No, I'm not. So you have to pay attention for these. Number 2, it also helps a conversation if you can add more information. Do you like cooking? Yes, I do, actually, especially Thai food. So these give more information and more politeness to answer with additional information. Complete the short answers. Continue with the line from the speech bubbles. I'm sorry, I've got a penny on me. And do you like jazz? Yes, no, I don't. I prefer rock and roll. Number 2, did you see the football last night? Yes, I did. It was a great game. Number 3, have you got change for a pound? No, I haven't. I'm sorry, I haven't got a penny on me. Number 4, have you tried the new pizza place? Yes, I have. I went there last weekend with Frank. Number 5, are your parents quite strict? Yes, I suppose they are, but they give me a lot of freedom too. Number 6, are you doing anything this evening? No, I'm not. Why? What are you doing? So after finishing, you have to add something to your answers in order to make the wheel of conversation running. Think of the question, ask each other, use these ideas to help you. Do you like play or go? And this is not required the students, but it's very important. I would like you to try to solve them or answer them after we finish this unit. Next unit would be does and don'ts. Have, got to, should, must, words that go together at the doctors. Thank you for your listening, dear students. See you in the next lecture.